everyone! So I'm back today with another fragrance review. Today's video is kind of exciting because I'm going to be doing two different fragrances, both by the same designer. One is for men and one is for women. And the two that I'm talking about are the two fragrances that Paris Hilton released back in 2005. They were her two signature scents called Paris Hilton and Paris Hilton for Men. So I've sort of been slowly collecting the Paris Hilton fragrances over the last little while, and I've managed to get pretty much all of them. She has like, I think 10 or so, but I realized that I hadn't really reviewed many of them. The only one that I did a video for was Can Can, and that was like a year ago. So I'm going to start doing some more Paris Hilton reviews, and I want to start off with this one. Okay, so first I'll show you the advertisement. So there's two different advertisements that she made. One for the women and one for the men. So this is the women's one. This is Paris kind of like, she kind of just bursts into like a room, opens the door and is just like posing. So it's a little bit weird, but I think it's kind of sexy, kind of fun. And she's just got like a nice sort of light blue dress on and has a picture of the bottle and Paris Hilton fragrance written on the bottom there. Okay, so first I'm going to show you the boxes. I'm going to review the boxes and the bottles together because they're the same, they're just different colors. So, these are the two boxes that they come in. Pink one is for women and the blue is for men. You know, the boxes are fine. I'm not particularly in love with them. They're sort of plain. They're very, like, I mean, the color is very vibrant, but there's not too much detail. It's just kind of like either the blue or the pink with black stripes going down. And they both say Paris Hilton, just like up the side. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the bottle designs. So, I have both the bottles here. They're very similar to the box, basically. The women's one is a light, or it's sort of like a magenta color, with the black stripes going all the way down the bottle, as well as on the lid. Nice sort of just glass cylinder. The lid comes off like that, and it just sprays normally like that. It does say Paris Hilton along the rim there. So just like that. The lid is made of plastic, as well as the for men. It's blue, the stripes, and then it says Paris Hilton along the rim there. So the bottles are glass and the lids are plastic. I think when you buy the larger bottles, the lids are glass, but with the 1 ounce, they're just plastic. One thing I don't like about the bottles is that, well, first of all, they're very cheaply made. Like the stripe part isn't actually on the bottle, it's a sticker. Like, you can actually peel, if you wanted to, you could peel off the stripes, because it's like, do you see like the seam there? Like, I can just grab that and like peel it off. Same with the men's, so it's like, it's just a sticker, which that was, you know, kind of cheap, but whatever. I mean, they're pretty cheap to buy, so I guess you get what you pay for, but so that's the bottle design, sort of uninspired, but chic nonetheless, I suppose. Alright, so now I'm going to tell you about the fragrances themselves. So the one that I'm going to start off with is the one that I actually think is the more interesting of the two, and that's Paris Hilton for Men. Okay, so let me just tell you a little background story about this. So this was released, you know, with that one, although it didn't get as widespread a release. Like this one you can find pretty much anywhere, whereas the for men one is a little bit harder to find, at least like where I live. Like I never see this selling anywhere. So for a while I just never knew what it smelled like. And I would look up reviews for it, and everyone was saying how it smells so fruity. Like it's just fruity. And, you know, that sort of intrigued me, and I was like, oh, well, that sounds interesting. But the thing was, sometimes I'll read reviews on men's fragrances, and people will go on and on about how fruity they are. Like, oh, it smells so, like, just pure fruit. And whenever I go out and smell them, I'm always disappointed because it's never, like, actually fruity. It's always, like, cologne fruity, which is, like, you know, lemon or bergamot or, like, mandarin orange. Like, just sort of, like, citrusy fruity. I mean, I wear a lot of women's fragrances, as you know, and, you know, when I have fruity fragrances, it's like Live Luxe or, like, Radiance. Like, it's, you know, melons and peach and apple. Like, it's really fruity scents. Whereas with men's fragrances, fruity tends to mean, like, citrusy or, you know, maybe a light touch of cucumber or something. Like it's really not what I consider fruity. So I always thought, oh, it's just gonna be like, you know, woodsy, and it's not really gonna be fruity. So I never really cared to actually get a bottle. But I just kept reading more and more, and everyone was saying how it could be like a unisex. It's so tropical, this and that. So I finally decided, you know what, I'm just gonna buy it. I'm just gonna, I could only find it online, so I didn't know what it smelled like, but I'm like, I'll just find a cheap bottle of it, I'll buy it. You know, just maybe they're right, maybe it's like real fruit, and just sort of hope that, you know, it's good. And if it's not, whatever. I only spent, I think, $13 on this, so I was like, if it sucks, you know, whatever, no big deal. At least I have it for the collection. If it's good, it's good. So I bought it. I couldn't wait for it to arrive. I finally got it, tried it, and I can honestly say this is actually fruity. It is like my standards of fruitiness. It's actually like juicy and slightly tropical. I approve of this fragrance. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, let me tell you what's in it. Actually, no, sorry, I'm not going to tell you just yet. There's one more thing I have to say. So, Paris Hilton, I don't mean to sound mean, but I feel like sometimes Paris just, she doesn't know anything about her own fragrance. She made a comment on her men's fragrance, like she was asked to describe it basically, like, oh, you know, what was the inspiration for this? What did you put in it? Blah, blah, blah. This is her response. Okay, so this is Paris's response to, you know, tell us about the men's fragrance. This is Paris speaking. It's really hot. I mixed all these scents together, and when a guy wears it, it smells so good. So there you have it, folks. That is the review of Paris Hilton for Men. Thanks for watching. No, okay. So that's how Paris describes it, and now this is how I describe it. So I'm going to spray for you right now to unleash all of these wonderful fruits. Wow. Okay. So I'm going to tell you right now, this is the fruitiest men's fragrance I've ever smelled. It's very juicy, very uplifting, very energetic, very fresh. So in the top note, we have airy fig leaf and green mango. And you can definitely smell that green mango. It smells just like a very, not sweet, but juicy tropical scent. It has that airy fig leaf to sort of lighten things a little bit, but I definitely do smell a nice juicy burst of mango, and it's very, very attractive, very uplifting, and I was pleasantly surprised by this top note. At this point in the fragrance, it could pass as a women's scent, or at least a unisex scent, because it is, you know, more fruity than the average men's scent, although it still does have a sort of underlying masculine touch to it. And I think it really is well done in that sense, that it's not just like, you know, a women's scent, it is a man's scent, but it has a unique opening that is more tropical, more fruity, and more energetic than a lot of other men's scents. So I really, really enjoy that top note. And then in the heart of the fragrance, we have white sage, juniper, and basil. So it's you know, it's sort of an interesting heart note as well. At this point, I really honestly don't pick out those three specific notes. If I could describe the heart, it's more like a lightly woodsy, still lightly sweet, typical men's fragrance kind of heart. Like, it is rather musky and woodsy, but again, you still have that green mango that's keeping the scent very fresh and making it stand out a little bit more. Never smells heavy. It never smells like spicy or too woodsy. This is, you know what, I'm going to put some on myself right now. Just for me, just for me. Oh, I love that top. It's just so wonderful. Okay, and then in the base note is interesting as well. We have amber, cucumber, and Moroccan cedarwood. So when we get down to the base, I feel at this point, unfortunately, the mango is kind of gone. The mango's faded away. The fig leaf is kind of gone as well. We just kind of are left with that slightly woodsy heart. And we do have the fresh cucumber, which tries to sort of, you know, freshen things up like the fig leaf was doing. I would say it doesn't do a great job at that. The base does smell, I think it's from the Moroccan cedar wood. It smells a little bit too musky. It's heavy on the woods now, and it basically dries down to a typical men's cologne, like that just woodsy, musky dry down. So I mean, this was anything but typical, and then finally, once you get to the base, it does kind of just blend in with all the other men's fragrances. But it was a great ride getting there. It was unique, it was fun, it was fresh, and you know, fruits tend not to last from top to bottom, so you can't really expect that mango to be there to the very end. So what's left isn't unpleasant, but it isn't as unique as it was before. It is kind of just, you know, a woodsy musk left over on your skin. In terms of lasting power, okay, I'll have to be honest, it doesn't last all day. It doesn't really have as much lasting power as a lot of other men's scents. I think because a lot of other colognes have like those heavier, woodsy, muskier tones to them, so they tend to last longer, whereas this one is quite airy and fresh and fruity, and those tend to evaporate a little faster. So, you know, it's understandable that it's not quite as long-lasting. The projection is decent. People smell me when I wear it. It doesn't fill the entire room. I'd say it has pretty much average projection. So you can still smell it on you. You don't have to like press your wrist to your nose to smell it. But you know, after about an hour, it does stay a little bit closer to the skin. It doesn't quite, you know, reach out and grab people. So when to wear Paris Hilton for men? It's a very casual scent. It's not formal. It's not heavy. It's not particularly sexy. I think it really is just a great, fresh, casual, everyday scent. So if you want to wear, you know, a cologne every day, but you just don't want anything too heavy or spicy, this is great for that because it's fun, energetic, very casual, very easy to wear, and it's just a great for everyday use kind of scent. And in terms of other products, you can get a shower gel, you can get a deodorant. I believe there's an aftershave, I'm not sure. It does come in different sizes, so this is the 1 ounce. You can get the 15 ml, the 50, and the 100. So variety of sizes, variety of products, very affordable, and overall I think it is a unique and great men's fragrance. I mean, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, Paris Hilton, I'm not going to wear that. But like, you know, just give it a chance. It's different, yeah, but I really appreciate that, and it's actually made its way into like my favorite men's fragrances. So I highly recommend Paris Hilton for men, especially if you're looking for a fruitier men's fragrance with actual fruits, not like man fruits, I'm talking like woman fruits, then give Paris Hilton for men a try. Alright, so now let's move on to Paris Hilton for women. Okay. So before I talk to you about the scent, I have a sample here. So I ordered like a while ago, I ordered a whole collection of Paris Hilton samples. I really love these samples because, first of all, you know, you have the advertisements, which are always fun. They come in like their own little like booklet thing. They're vials rather than sprays, so you can really control how much you use. And they all come with a little story. A little description of the scent, what Paris herself feels about it, and I love reading them and dying laughing. So I wanted to share with you what Paris Hilton has to say about her Paris Hilton for women. Well, this is like, it's Paris as well as like her people. So let me read it to you. Paris is sharing the spotlight with her first perfume. Like Paris herself, it is mysterious, intriguing, and beautiful. Rich in its appeal, it defines that moment in time when powerful sensuality and breathtaking beauty are captured in a way that all can enjoy. Share a bit of the magic that is Paris Hilton. Find out what it smells like to be a star. With an intro like that, you know it's gotta be good. So that's a little story on Paris Hilton for women. So now I'll take you through it, and we will see if it truly is, you know, as magnificent as that little insert tells us. Okay, so much like Paris Hilton for men, This one is fruity as well. This is a fruity floral. So I'm going to give it a little spray right now. Okay. Oh wow. Alright, so this scent is very fruity, very juicy, and sweet as well. It's more fruity than the For Men, and that one was pretty fruity, so you know that this one is packing a lot of, like, you know, it's just throwing fruit at you. It's very, almost candy-like as well. Like, it has that very girly pink fruits, candy, sweetness, juicy, you know, all of that. Everything you think of when you see, like, a pink bottle. That's what this smells like. So in the top note of the fragrance, we have a touch of melon, some peach, and some apple. So, I mean, it's a pure fruit opening. They're very, like, heavy fruits, too. They're not like, you know, pear or raspberry. It's like peach, melon, apple. Like, they're very juicy, heavy fruits. And that definitely comes out. It is a fresh explosion of, like, fruit train wreck. It's really nice, though. I don't mean for that to sound... it actually is nice. You know what? I'm putting some of this on as well. God, I'm just like a Paris Hilton fruit monster right now. So, delicious fruity opening. And then the heart of the fragrance is a nice floral bouquet. So we have freesia, mimosa, and jasmine petals. I would say out of the three, you could definitely smell the freesia. Like, it has that rich, fruity, floral, like, softness to it, as well as the jasmine, because it smells rather fresh. Like, it's almost like, I mean, it's not like a clean smell, but the fruits definitely don't smell synthetic or, like, cloying at all. Like, they do have a nice, I think that jasmine's really, like, washing those fruits out, making them nice, and it really, everything just blends together very nicely at this point. The florals just soften those fruits and make it just a very pleasant and easy to wear fruity floral. It is rather strong, which I think is good. I think sometimes fruity florals tend to, like, they're very light and they kind of just disappear. This one stays on. It projects, it has some decent projection to it at this point. People are really smelling, you know, everything that you're about right now. So I think that it has a nice blend of the top and middle. After you give it some time to develop, I feel as though the apple kind of fades a bit, but that peach still stays strong, and it really starts to smell like peachy florals, like still sweet, still juicy, softened a bit by, like, you know, the jasmine petals, but it's mainly like a nice peachy, fruity scent. And I typically, you know, I'm not a huge fan of peach, but I think this time it was actually done quite well. I think the apple did, you know, freshen it from the beginning, so what's left of it later on really kind of trails into something more pleasant. So, so yeah, I have nothing but good things to say of it so far. And then we sort of trail into the base note. And it's at this point where I actually don't really like where the scent kind of ended off. You know, I was hoping for like some vanilla or just like a nice warmer kind of base, but the base is actually rather musky. Rather musky, a little bit woodsy. So there's 4 ingredients in the base. We have the sandalwood, the ylang ylang, oak moss, and the 4th one is sensual pheromones, or so Paris says. I mean, I don't really know what to say about those pheromones. All I'll say is that the base does smell just too musky. Maybe there's too much pheromones. Maybe it's the oak moss, but it's like, it is a rather musky, I think it was meant to be very sexy, like that sort of like just that skin musk. But I think it was just too much. I think it was just too much. It wasn't quite the end I was hoping for. I mean, maybe it's up to personal taste, but it's at this point in the fragrance that I feel as though it sort of lost me. It kind of loses me at that point. Yeah, I would say, like, I feel like the magic, like that star power that Paris was talking about, it was there. It was there at the top and through the heart. The base, it kind of loses it a bit. I feel like maybe now it's just that, like, that sensuality that she was kind of hinting towards. Maybe that's you know, that's where it went. And that's fine, but I feel like the magic is kind of gone. So Paris Hilton for Women is a nice, fruity floral that, you know, it does smell like what you'd think Paris Hilton would smell like, you know, on the red carpet. Well, maybe not the red carpet, I don't think she goes to the Oscars. Where does she go? the MTV Awards, or the Fragrance Awards, or the BFF premiere TV show, whatever that thing was. In terms of lasting power, I think it has good lasting power. It lasts longer than for men, and it does project more as well. I think because it has more florals in it. And I guess it's that base, you know, even though I don't love the base, it is heavier and muskier, so it does make the scent last longer. So that's one good thing about those pheromones and oak moss. It does make it last longer. Best times to use Paris Hilton? Well, it really is like a fun fragrance. It's like just about having fun. It's great if you want to wear it out to like a club, out dancing, even out shopping. I don't think it's particularly formal. It's not like a formal dinner party or like wedding kind of scent. It's more casual, it's just flirty and fun, and I think it's perfect for just those sorts of occasions. You can get a lotion, you can get a shower gel, you can get it in the same sizes as this one. I've actually never used any products for these two, so I can't really review them, but there are a lot of products that you can find for these two if you were interested. Oh my god. Oh, Paris, what have you done? Okay, so I'm just going to do a quick summary of the two different scents I've got here. So Paris Hilton for Men is a very unique and underrated men's fragrance. I think it deserves more attention. It's very fruity and casual and fresh. We start off with nice fresh green mango, which it has a bit of a tropical feel and I really enjoy it. The heart is a little bit more woodsy, but everything always remains fresh because of that airy fig leaf. And then it dries down to sort of a typical, men's fragrance base, but everything else about it is very atypical, and I think it's definitely worth a smell if you want something a little bit different and a lot more fruity. Paris Hilton for Women is a sheer fruity floral. It isn't the most unique thing in the world, but it's very easy to wear, very fun. It has a nice fresh star quality to it. We start off with peach and apple, and we go into a nice heart of jasmine petals and freesia, and then we get to a base that's a little bit too musky for my taste, but it's all up to preference, and that does at least make the scent last longer. Hey guys, so that's my review of Paris Hilton's two debut fragrances. If I had to pick one of them, which one is better, my vote's going to go for Paris Hilton for Men because it stands out among other colognes, and it's just my personal favorite. Okay, so that's the end of my review for these two. Again, I have all the other Paris Hilton fragrances, including her first two colognes, or her other two colognes, in sample form. So let me know what you guys think about these two and what you thought of the video. And you can also leave votes either like in the comment section or on my Facebook page on which Paris Hilton fragrance you want me to review next. And the one that gets the most attention will be the one that I will review next. Okay guys, I hope you found that fun and helpful, and I'll see you guys next time for some more fragrance reviews.